I found a poem that Rudyard Kipling wrote in 1919. I found it when we were writing Overton Window, and I found it so true then, but as every day passes, it becomes more true. It's about the gods of the copybook headings, and copybooks were something that we did when we were kids learning cursive writing. You'd have a copybook and you'd open it up, and there at the top was the heading, and it would say, you know, Susan is a nice girl, water will wet you, whatever it was that were usually universal truths, the copybooks. And he said after World War I that those truths were lost. They were really our gods that created everything, that managed life for humankind. He wrote, "As I pass through my incarnations in every age and race, I make my proper prostrations to the God of the marketplace. Peering through reverent fingers, I watch them flourish and fall. And I notice that the gods of the copybook headings outlast them all. We were living in the trees when they met us. They showed us, each in turn, that water will certainly wet us and fire will certainly burn. But we found them lacking in uplift, vision, and breadth of mind. So we left them to teach the gorillas while we followed the march of mankind. We moved as the spirit listed, but they never altered their pace, being neither cloud nor wind-born like the gods of the marketplace. But they always caught up with our progress, and presently word would come that a tribe had been wiped off its ice field or the lights had gone off in Rome. With the hopes that our world is built on the fact that they were just utterly out of touch. After all, they denied the moon was Stilton. They denied she was even Dutch. They denied that wishes were horses. They denied that pigs had wings. So we worship the gods of the marketplace that promised all of these beautiful things. When the Cambrian measures were forming, they promised us perpetual peace. They swore, if we gave them our weapons, that the wars of the tribes would cease. But when we disarmed, they sold us and delivered us bound to our foe. And so the gods of the copybook heading said, stick to the devil you know. On the first feminine sandstones, we were promised the fuller life, which started out by loving our neighbor and ended up loving his wife, till all our women had no more children, and our men lost reason and faith. And the gods of the copybook heading said, the wages of sin is death. In the Carboniferous epoch, we were promised abundance for all by robbing selected Peter to pay for collective Paul. But though we had plenty of money, there was nothing our money could buy. And the gods of the copybook heading said, if you do not work, you shall die. Then the gods of the market tumbled, and the smooth-tongued wizards withdrew. And the hearts of the meanest were humbled, and began to believe it were true, that all is not gold that glitters, and 2 and 2 do make 4. And the gods of the copybook headings limped up to explain it once more. As it will be in the future, it was at the birth of man. There are only 4 things certain since social progress began. The dog returns to his vomit. The sow will return to her mire. And the burnt fool's bandaged finger will go wobbling back to the fire. And after all of that is accomplished, and the brave new world begins, when all men are paid for existing, and no man must pay for his sins, as surely as water will wet us, as surely as fire will burn, the gods of the copybook headings with terror and slaughter return. You can only find that in one book. It was a book printed about 1920. I've looked and looked and looked, found one copy of it. You can find it online, thank God for online. But for some reason, out of Rudyard Kipling's greatest works, that one's just lost. And it speaks to me every single day. We are being told things that are nonsensical. We are literally being told 2 and 2 don't make 4 if you can explain it. You're thinking, even if you come up with 5, that's still okay. We're being told that men can be women if they just think it. As surely as water will wet us, as surely as fire will burn. The things that are true, no matter what man says about the truth makes no difference. There is no such thing as my truth and your truth. There is simply the truth, the way I understand it, the way you understand it, but it is what it is. I don't care how many of us say, I need a safe space. I need a safe space here on the shuttle, on the space shuttle or the International Space Station. I need a safe space because I'm telling you right now, space is not a vacuum. Go ahead, believe that all you want. But once you open the door, the safe space for you, you're sucked out into it because space is a vacuum. You can have your opinion. But when that truth is open, once that door locks its seal, you will realize that no matter what you say about the vacuum of space, whether you believe in it or not, it believes in it, and it won't change. How many universal truths have we lost? Most of the universal truths that we found, that we know of, about 80% of everything that our country was founded on comes from the scriptures. That was the source of universal truth. Not because you could even say, I don't believe that it's the Word of God. Well, whatever. Good that it's Bill's or Moses's great safety tips. It's 10 great safety tips that you should probably always do because it's true. How many of these things have we lost? Because we left that behind. We left that to teach the gorillas while we follow the march of mankind.